Welcome to A Wild and Simple Life. Short and cozy stories for grown-ups. A chance for you to relax, slow down, and escape. I'm Julianne. I read and write all the stories you hear on A Wild and Simple Life. Thank you for listening and for sharing my stories with anyone you know who likes to embrace simplicity and quiet, simple, wild moments. If you need a little more coziness, comfort and connection, you can head over to awildandsimplelife.com, where you can find the full library from the show and special ways you can support me plus connect with me privately. Now, it's time to get comfortable, make a warm drink and get as cozy as you can. Welcome to this week's small story. It's about feeling so cold, yet so lovingly warm during a foggy morning, and appreciating the simpler things. Get cozy with me, grab a warm drink, and take a few minutes to yourself whilst you enjoy this little story. The wildness in the fog. This morning I woke up so happy and excited to start the day. As I pulled up the blinds, I could see we were surrounded by thick, heavy fog. The temperature was below freezing, and I couldn't wait to get outside and join the birds, who were happily perched on the gum trees singing their morning tunes. I popped on my slippers, beanie and dressing gown and went outside the van to boil some water to make my morning coffee. The water always takes so much longer to boil over a gas stove when it's cold. However, I embraced this time to look out in awe at the beautiful eeriness surrounding me. I felt cold, yet so cozy at the same time. Although I could not see it, I could hear the wildness of nature waking up around me. With my coffee now warming my hands and soul, I sat quietly and listened to the sounds. The leaves rustling in the trees above, the various bird calls, the cows calling in the distant fields, the morning dew dripping from the annex onto the dry, dusty earth. I savour every warm sip of my coffee, and like a child, I take a deep breath and blow into the cold air, watching the steam form from my breath. I take notice of how my hands wrap lovingly around my mug, embracing the warmth. My son Phoenix wakes and joins me outside. I cuddled in close to stay warm. He too was excited by the sight of the fog. We could just make out the eastern grey kangaroos through the native grass, enjoying their morning meal. The natural world was awake and buzzing, regardless of the temperature, and my heart was full knowing that we were too. Even in the hardest of winters, the natural world navigates through to the spring that waits on the other side. There is a lesson to learn in this, and there is something so empowering about embracing a cold or fallow season. After some time, the fog begins to lift, and we could once again see the horizon, the sun finally visible, slowly warming our cold cheeks and noses. I think to myself in this moment, what a blessing it is to feel so cold, yet so lovingly warm. If you enjoyed this little story with me today, comment below. You may also feel called to share it with someone you care about. I would love that. After all, we can all benefit from and deserve a moment to ourselves to escape and slow down with a very short, simple story. A Wild and Simple Life is a reader and listener supported publication and podcast. To receive new stories and support what I do with ad-free listening, consider becoming a free or premium subscriber over at awildandsimplelife.com. Thank you as always for joining me. Sending love. Until next time.